Greetings everyone, welcome to my sketchbook. I found something, I don't know if this is rare kind of stuff, but I mean it says it's a booster pack. I'm not really into Pokemon, but I saw this at a store and I'm like, oh, I should buy that because that seems kind of interesting because this seems familiar, what's on the front of this. So they let me buy it. I had this setting aside, which is this Toxicroak creature, and then I guess here is what it starts off as, I guess, and then becomes like this. I wonder if this on the cover of this package is the same creature. I don't know. I don't know. This seems more like a fox, I suppose, with some like spiky stuff going on with it, and it has similar looking kind of features and colors, but anyway, I don't know what that is. So the plan here is to open this up and then pick a character, because I don't know any of them, to just doodle just for fun and make it look a little bit different than whatever that thing is. So we're opening this up. All right. I wonder if I should, whatever. Let's see what we have going on in here. Oh, come on. Here we go. Oh yeah, it usually comes with some sort of like invitation of sorts to play the game online or something like that too. Yeah. And these are the cards. Let's see what we got here. Let's kind of zoom in on this just because I don't know what these things are. So, starting off with, come on, zoom, yes, lock it down. Mill tank, a belly full of milk. That's kind of awesome. Shroodle. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's awesome. Heliolisk. Kind of looks like a sunflower. That's kind of fun. Scratch. Or Nincada. Nincada. Maybe it's like a cicada. Oh, yeah, that would kind of make sense, wouldn't it? Like, you know, if you pronounce it that way. Nincada. Like a cicada. Nincada. All right, a fighting gong. Houndstone. It has a horrifying bite. Centiskorch. Riolu. Riolu. Is that kind of what's on the cover of this thing? I don't know. It has similar kind of like pointy ears, but this seems to be like a less evolved version, maybe? So yeah, I don't know what that is. But it has these kind of like bands coming out of its head here, similar to that, but this has 4 of them. Okay, well, I'm going to say that's possibly what that is. I've seen this before. This is a Stuffle. This is kind of a silvery card. That's pretty neat. Mega Venusaur. Mega Venusaur. And basic energy something or other. This has got lots of kind of glowy stuff happening with it. That's kind of cool. Well, I don't know what I want to draw out of that pile of stuff. I guess I could possibly shuffle these and just pick something. And then whatever ends up on the top here, I'm just going to draw that thing, and then I'll ask the person that I know that's into this stuff what makes any of these things cool, and then what's on the cover of that package. All right, here we go. This one, I choose Hilarious. Well, I guess I'm going to draw this, which is Riolu. And as I said, I wonder if that's what's on the cover of this. I'll find that out. And I mean, maybe I'll look it up rather than ask. But whatever this is, it has almost like a cloak here. Very similar ears, colors. It doesn't have like the line here on the face, and the ears aren't as big. It's possible that this isn't evolved, right? Is that how that goes? Interesting. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to grab the pen. I'll set that there for a moment. I'm going to lock this down, open up my inkwell, and then, now do I want to draw it similar to that? I don't know. I'm going to draw something and see what happens. I'm going to pretend that it is beyond. So I'm going to draw my version of whatever this thing is, and maybe it'll be slightly more evolved. I don't know if I need this so much for its coloring's sake. It's kind of like a fox or a raccoon or something like that. Let's select here. See if it'll focus on my finger. All right. I'm giving it a sort of a fox nose, but not exactly. I'm going to let it be kind of aggressive, but I don't really want those super big cartoony eyes, but it's okay if it does, right? So, Riolu has an accelerating stab. How fun is that, Riolu? I don't know why you have to be so awesome, but good for you, I guess. I don't know if Pokemon really have teeth like this, and if they live in, you know, the play stuff. I've made the nose here. I think there's a possibility. Let's see. I'm going to move it down a little bit more. You know, I could have made it a little bit longer snout-wise. Maybe I've, oh, look at that, I'll mew out that jaw just a little bit over there. Ear-wise. So if you're familiar with this character, please let me know in the comments, you know, what is the way that it evolves, or how does it do whatever it does, or, you know, how is it associated with whatever. I'm not really that familiar with these things. I do find it pretty interesting. Now, I'm basing some of the colors, not so much colors, but the design on its face, based on the card that's in front of me and what I assume is a more evolved version over here. I could be wrong, but I'm taking those styling cues to say that they are probably related. Now, it's almost like a dual eye thing or something that I have kind of poking around there in the Pokemon. I don't know if I want, well, you know what? I can kind of work on that a little bit too. So I'll leave it kind of rough looking until I figure out what I want with more of its body. I do wonder, though, if they are indeed related. Because, yeah. It's interesting anyway. I'm going to have it so that its shoulders are coming off here. We're not going to really see the neck. And I'm not going to use the same poses that are on the card. So, hunched neck. I'm going to go with sort of a smaller shoulder, I think. I don't know if I need to have certain types of musculature with this creature. I'm going to back this out for a moment if I can. And I'm going to more quickly rough out something here with the body. After I finish this arm. I don't want to use too much forced perspective. So I'm going to kind of keep it like with whatever this is and whatever this is. It's really working that sort of thing out, and I don't really want to do that. Looks cool though, but I don't really see that way myself, and I don't have a certain lens on me, so I don't know if I see the purpose in it. Here I'm going to create whatever that sort of advanced spike thing is that it and I think Toxicroak kind of share. Oh. Now, if the other shoulder's back here, based on that, it would be mostly hidden behind that part of the face. So I'm going to have this arm here. And just a little tiny bit of the shoulder there. And you know, I don't know if this has opposable thumbs. So that's embarrassing. I don't know if it has opposable thumbs. We will survive that. Do I want to have the vest-like thing of the card package or not? I don't know. I do want to include these things, which seem to come out of, you know, the mask-like part of the face. But I don't know if I like them to be quite so balloon-like. I'll leave them kind of jaggedy looking. I'll probably leave this in black and white for the most part as well, because I'm 17 minutes in, and I don't know if I want to add an extra bit of time. Oh, and by the way, if any of you know what this stuff is, let me know as well. You know, sometimes there's a few people that know what certain things are, and I'm always happy to pick up some version of an education. Right now I'm adding a little bit of line work detail. I will call it fine work detail. Let's zoom in on that a little bit just so you can see what I'm rambling on about, and if that will kind of focus down on that a little bit. Okay. Now, it's a strange thing to try to take certain things kind of serious if you're not really familiar with it. So I don't know this creature. So I don't know how it might have evolved, or, well, why it looks the way it does. So if you like, you can let me know as well. Oh, you know what would be neat? I could probably do a little bit of water with this. So I'm going to squiggle in. It looks kind of messy, but that's okay, because when I put the brush to it, it'll smooth that out. I don't know if this line goes around the head or not. So not quite cross-hatching going on there. Really, I'm just adding ink to give me something to darken in. Something about these little nooks like that, to me, look really neat. They're almost like ocean waves or something. Kind of organic in some way. Eye-wise, well, let's have the creature kind of... like, I don't know if it does... you know, those big glowy... I mean, we can kind of put them in, but I'd rather kind of do a little bit of shading, I think. How about just like a little tiny one? Then like that. We'll change a couple of things a little bit. I'll darken some of this in a little bit. And then we'll do the final detailing work soon enough. But I'm going to have the tongue here. Some shadow in the mouth. I don't know if I really, like, I mean, I don't really have lots of room now to add those spikes in, but I think jumping around with spikes with your head moving around, you don't want your face to bang into it, so I don't have to put them in. And with this, I don't see, like, I see how the legs kind of go a little bit here, but I don't know if this is more like a vest kind of going on or not. Really strange. We're at 22 minutes. 23 minutes. Okay, now before I get more and more into the detail, like, I mean, I already put like semi-finishing detail here in this arm. Before I get into doing that with the face, I'm going to set this pen down, get some water, get this brush, and from left to right, I'm going to bring out a little bit of shading works. Not quite gauche, but I'm using the ink that I put down. Ooh, a little drip might make a run there. Ooh, make a run. Hilarious. Oh, Riolu, however you pronounce your name, I wish you all the best. I hope you don't get a sore belly. I hope your battles are all awesome. Who captures or trains this particular Pokemon? Let me know about that. I don't know, like, so I'd be kind of curious who seems to be, you know, the trainer of this Pokemon, or is this some sort of specialized guardian Pokemon that just kind of does their own thing and protects a certain area? Or you can let me know if you know. And again, we're saying that this is kind of my version of it because I don't know the character and I don't know how it would have evolved or what its final stage is, or if there is such a thing as a final stage for Riolu. Riolu. Now, of course, because I'm doing this with my right hand, left to right gives me the opportunity not to smudge everything up, which I can still do, of course. We're going to take care of this other thing back here. We'll say that this is like in between the evolution of the card that, well, maybe not, I don't know. If indeed whatever's going on with how it evolves. Because I didn't want to put the spiky vest on. I'm going under here. Under its magnificent jaw. And then we'll do the final sort of detailing. And we'll not worry about adding color to it. Cool beans. Cool beans. So if you've been here before, you know, sometimes I ramble on about some stuff that I just need to get out of my head. And sometimes it's kind of nonsense, but nothing too serious for the most part. All right, you probably didn't get to see what I did down there because I don't really pay attention to lots of that stuff happening on screen. All right, so yeah, so that's kind of what I did there. I could probably just do a little, I don't know what that little dot is here on the nose. Some weird little clean spot that I just did something to. All right. Now, let's get back into doing some detail work here. And we're going to back it out one layer. And start up here. When I was a kid, the card games like this didn't really exist. So I guess the closest thing would be the destruction of cards to make your bicycles sound like motorcycles. But you would play games like Chuck or Wally, or there was different names, I guess, that you would have that would enable you to basically play to lose cards. So you throw something at a wall, let's say it would be the card itself, and there would be some leaning against the wall, and your efforts were supposed to go towards knocking down those leaning cards. And if you knock down whatever cards, then sometimes you got to keep them. But if you had good friends, you would just play for fun. And it wasn't really meant to be something serious. Now, Pokemon, I believe, for some people, got really out of hand. And there were schools earlier on that actually banned Pokemon because long before, like, so nowadays, I guess the big thing is scalping, right? Where you have people that go and they hunt down what are supposed to be valuable cards or possible valuable card packs. And I guess some people open the cards in advance and find out what's in it and then repackage them. And there's a lot of controversy with that too. And that's not something I agree with at all. I'm not a card scalper. I don't really understand that world. I understand that making money is important and all that kind of stuff, but for the most part, this is not a world that I really understand. I'm being a little too picky with some of this outlining for something that really doesn't matter as much, and I keep bumping into part of that light up there. So I don't know if this is like a face tail. You know, kind of like whiskers or eyebrows. No idea what those things are coming out of the head of Riolu. We don't want the eyes to be too sinister. At least I don't want them to be too sinister. Now, I feel like from what I did a little earlier with setting up part of the nose of this creature, I may have created a strange obligation on that side of its face. Where are we at? 35 minutes. Well, let's get over to this. like I said, I don't think that there's like a thumb. There could be. I don't know. Just sort of dropping in some creases in what could be some of the paw. I don't know if they have fingernails. This is wild. This is wild. In the final bits now. I didn't expect, well, you know, around 40 minutes is not the worst thing. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do a drawing for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a kind of a tough day. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So Saturday. All right. I think that should be it. I'm going to move that out just a little bit like that. And then, now if I would have rough pre-penciled it first, I probably would have had the legs doing something, maybe curve back that way. But I think that's good for now. Ooh, you know what? Let's get into the mouth of this creature just a little bit. And I didn't give it big fangs. All right, that is it. I think I'm done with that then for now. Over here, that's the thing that I'm kind of basing it on, and in some ways assuming that that is kind of like one of the final evolutions or mega evolutions of Riolu, picked randomly from the stack of cards. Truth. Yeah, no, I think that's it. Well, folks, thanks for hanging out, and come back again. We'll draw another picture of some kind, and yeah, it should be fun. All right. Ciao for now. Oh, you know what? Let me just look at something here. Yeah, no, I think that's that's fine. Have a great day.